Hello, fellow interns. My name is Tiara Everett, and I present to you the Taj Mahal, standing at 240 feet tall on a 42-acre complex, unlike any building of its time and considered one of the 7 modern wonders of the world. This monument displays the advanced intelligence and progressive nature of the Mughal Empire. Taking over 2 decades to build and 20,000 men, it is said that the Taj Mahal is a symbol of undying love commissioned by the powerful Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, after the favorite of his 3 wives and mother of 14 of his 15 children. Mumtaz Mahal died during childbirth. Jahan was wrought with sorrow and built this majestic mausoleum of devotion to honor her memory. Well, that's one story anyway. The only information we really have about this majestic building is found in historical texts and research pertaining to that time in history. In an academic journal published article, The Myth of the Taj Mahal and a New Theory of its Symbolic Meaning, Wayne E. Begley writes about his interpretations of the many quotes from the Quran and symbols inscribed throughout the Taj Mahal. According to Begley, several clues suggest that though the Taj Mahal was indeed built for the remains of Mumtaz Mahal, there is a clear underlying purpose for which the monument was intended. First, a little background. The Mughal Empire was one of the most powerful empires in the history of the world. At one point, it ruled about a quarter of the Earth's population. Before the Mughal Empire, the majority of the population was Hindu, so the large population of Muslims in the Indian subcontinent today is largely due to the Muslim Mughal Empire. It was during this empire that Shah Jahan came to be known for his architectural skills. Some of his buildings include the Red Fort, Agra Fort, and several mosques, which attracted curious visitors from other lands. These buildings speak to how advanced the civilization was for its time. In his paper, Begley's research is extensive and gives the reader several thoroughly explained reasons for his theory, backed by plenty of evidence. Since there's not enough time to go into such detail, I will explain only a few of his thoughts. Jean-Baptiste Tavernier is the French traveler who claimed to witness the Taj Mahal taking 22 years and 20,000 men to complete. However, according to Persian histories and the dates inscribed on the exterior of the structure, the Taj itself was complete by 1636, 4 years before Tavernier even came to see it. This is the same exaggerant author who penned the only original account that Shah Jahan began constructing an identical mausoleum for himself across the river, an idea that is widely accepted as truth even today. Shah Jahan is buried next to his bride, Mumtaz Mahal. The fact that Mumtaz is buried in the center of the room and Shah off to the side seems to coincide with Tavernier's story. However, this asymmetry is present in the mausoleum of the Grand Vizier and his wife at Agra, finished just 4 years before the Taj began, pointing to the notion that Shah Jahan intended to be buried in the Taj Mahal all along. The accounts which describe Jahan as grief-stricken over the death of his wife are indicative of the popular writing styles of the time, when exaggerated stories were romanticized beyond the realities of the events. Many have referred to the Taj Mahal as a love poem written in white stone. It is believed that Shah Jahan ordered the court to mourn for 2 years and swore celibacy to Mumtaz on her deathbed. These stories are in direct contradiction to several Mughal accounts, which describe Shah Jahan as tyrannical, violent man who killed his own brother and cousins to gain the throne, had an unquenchable lust for women, particularly the wives of his officials. Additionally, Women of that day were, and still are, treated as the less desirable sex, and often wives in a royal plural marriage were treated more as slaves than companions. This knowledge challenges the devotion and romantic love so frequently painted in reference to the Taj Mahal. Quotes from the Quran are engraved on the gates of the gardens and main structure of the Taj Mahal, specifically those which focus on Islamic paradise. This practice was not uncommon for this type of setting. However, what was uncommon was the extent to which the Quran was quoted and some parts that were left out symbolically. The garden and rivers replicate the way the Quran describes paradise, which is common, but the buildings before this were usually in the middle of the gardens, not on the far side. This strategic placement is strikingly similar to a diagram of the Day of Judgment, a manuscript written by Emperor Jahangir, which Shah Jahan had access to. The dome of the Taj Mahal differs from other domes of that age in its shape. It looks strikingly similar to Islamic art depicting the throne of God. It is important to note that according to Islamic belief, the image of God transcends any description made by man, and therefore any depiction of God is prohibited according to Islamic law. This leads me to my last point, which is that there are multiple Mughal paintings of Shah Jahan which depict him as either entering into paradise, surpassing his father in rank, or as deity himself. These unique symbols and paintings, along with his well-known infatuation with emblems of power, portray his self-obsessed nature and cause the inquisitive mind to question whether Shah Jahan built the Taj Mahal as a symbol of love and undying devotion, or as a symbol of his own power, greatness, and everlasting glory. This summarization does not do Begley's article justice, and I suggest that you read it at length to gain more insight on his theories. Regardless of the true purpose behind the building of the Taj Mahal, it is undoubtedly a magnificent piece of art and continues to be a pride of India.